Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is my podcast, Up in the Clouds. How are you? I miss you guys so much. I hope you guys had a great week this week. I hope you had a good week last week. I really missed you guys. I missed talking to you. I feel like, I don't know, I just don't feel like I feel different when I don't do it for a week. I just feel like sad and lost, but I was really I was so busy, so I took a few days in between ending my old job and starting my new job, and I did so much. I went home for a few days, and then I went and hung out with some friends, and I just was super busy and just trying to enjoy some free time that I haven't had since, and from working and stuff. So it was a lot of fun. I had a really good time, just out living life and not working. This week was long, and just starting a new job and learning everything and learning new people, being around new people, new energy. So far so good, minimal complaints. I like it a lot more, just from that 1 week. I mean, I've only a week in, so it's hard to say. I'm still learning things and it's brand new. But the stress level is so much better. It's just nothing compared to what I was dealing with. So I'm really grateful in that aspect because I can actually learn, and because it's a lot different. It's just hard to really even compare. They're just completely different places to work. I sort of feel like this new job is a step up because I have a lot as a technician there compared to Walgreens. I have a lot more responsibilities. We do everything through telepharmacy, so we take pictures of everything when we're filling prescriptions, and then it gets sent to a telepharmacist, and then they review everything, and it's just sort of more independent compared to Walgreens. So you definitely have to be more careful, definitely have to be way more, on top of things, just paying attention a lot more, just because if you mess anything up, you have to start completely over. And whereas Walgreens has one system they do everything on, this place has 8. So it's learning all the different systems that you do things on, and it's very, like I said, very different. Very awesome. I'm really grateful for this experience. I think it's gonna be growth. I think it's gonna be good, but growth, that is what I want to talk about today. So the reason why I kind of started, beginning with that, talking about my new job, is this is a big growth for me. I have been working at Walgreens all throughout college, and then I started working full-time after I finished college. Sort of COVID, when we weren't in school, I started working a lot more, / after I graduated, I was working all the time. And I was comfortable. I was one of the lead technicians there. I sort of hit what I needed to hit. I basically I was there. I was top. There was no more that I could grow from that point. And obviously you guys knew about the girl that was there that I told you about, that just sort of bullied me, and I just really didn't feel comfortable around her. And then I just had a lot of issues with this one pharmacist. He just really wasn't what I needed as a leader role, and I just was miserable all the time. I would leave crying, and I was just so stressed out, so low vibration, and I just couldn't do it anymore. And so, but also I was terrified. Even weeks going into before I started this job, I was is this the right move? Why am I doing this? I know everything here. I'm comfortable here. This is completely new. This is completely different. And I was almost trying to talk myself out of it, because some of my coworkers were trying to talk me out of it. My boss was trying to talk me out of it, leaving because they wanted me to stay there so bad. But I knew deep down that I was so miserable, and that if I stayed there, I would stay in that vibration. I didn't want to be in that vibration anymore. And then this new job was obviously an opportunity to, there was more pay on the line. And that's just always sort of like a, you know, an initiating wanting to leave a job is like when you get offered a job that has better pay, it's like, how do you say no? You know, how do you turn that down? So yeah, so, you know, change is scary. Growth comes with change though. So as scary as it may be to, you know, leave that job that you hate, that you're miserable at because you're comfortable, we only grow when we put ourselves in situations where we are uncomfortable. If you aren't uncomfortable, you are not growing. And that means that you're just staying at a same vibration. If there isn't, and I'm talking about people who feel like miserable. If you're happy and you're doing good, why make yourself uncomfortable? You know, I'm just talking about for the people who are miserable. There's something going on in their life, but they're comfortable, so they don't want to change that. And and it's crazy because obviously I feel like, you know, when our generation becomes like our parents' age, it's going to be a lot different because dating is very different now than when it was when our parents were. But I know so many older people who are so miserable in their marriage, and they only stay together because of the kids or because of this or that. Like they just make excuses. Like, and what the real thing that comes down to it is that fear of change, that fear of uncomfortableness, that fear of growth, basically. And I'm reading this book right now. It's called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. And I feel like that has a lot of inspiration coming behind this episode because it really inspired me to, even though I was feeling so scared and so, you know, doubtful that I was doing the right move, even though this opportunity had landed to me after I had been begging the universe for a new job, because I necessarily wasn't sure if I wanted to stay in pharmacy. That's how over pharmacy I was because of my situation. Like I was like, I don't even, like, this job opportunity is great, like this is amazing, but like I don't even know if I want to stay in pharmacy. Like that's how much I was like, I want to get out of pharmacy so bad, because I just felt like I had such a negative view of it. And there was obviously there was a lot of negatives, like working at Walgreens and the retail aspect of it. So it's very different because I work in right now it's a hospital setting pharmacy. And then when I go to other locations, it'll be like urgent care ones or like, a clinic setting. And it's very, very, like I said, very different. But I had all this negativity. I wasn't sure. But I realized though, when I was meditating about it, like, am I making the right decision? Am I making the right moves? Like, is it just my anxiety? Like, is it just like this fear that I have? And I figured out it was just fear. It was just anxiety, just in my head talking to myself. And, my angels, my guides, they were just like, you need to do this. This is the right move. Like, you need to do this for you, for yourself, for your mental health. And it's just crazy how much mentally, even though I'm working the same amount of hours, mentally I feel different. I don't feel completely, and I learned a lot. So it's like it's not like I was just like, I was like going through the motions or anything. Like, I'm not fully comfortable there yet. So it's not like, I already know what I'm doing or anything. So mentally, like, I should be way more drained than what I am, because I was like, doing a lot. But I can't believe like how differently I feel after the end of this week compared to like the weeks that I would work at my old job. So that's when, when I sort of got like an insight on that when I was meditating about it, and my guides were like, no, this is the right move. This is what you need to do. Stop letting fear run your life. And that's kind of like what the whole point of that book is basically like the fear of change, the fear of growth, the fear of being uncomfortable, the fear of doing something that you've always wanted to do. That fear is never going to go away. But it's what you choose to do with that fear, instead of letting it like, letting that fear control you and run your life. You're choosing to run your own life. You're choosing to say, forget you, fear. I am going to do this anyway. So feel the fear and do it anyway. I think that is so beautiful. I think it's so genius. I will link it in my description if you want to buy it off Amazon. I can't remember how much it was, but I don't think it was super crazy price wise. So, but it's very, very inspiring. It just sort of like teaches you, how to take that fear and channel it into good. So yeah, like you're obviously always gonna fear. You're always gonna be afraid of change. Change is never easy. Obviously, I hate to use some people aren't into the zodiac sign thing, but one thing about me is, as you guys know, I'm a Taurus, and Taurus's main thing is stability. So, that's a good thing, but there's also negatives to it, whereas we fear change. And my whole life I was forced into change. Obviously, I lived in like 9 different houses, like growing up, I was always moving. I went to like 3 different schools. I never stayed in one place for very long. So I was always forced change and forced growth, but all of it was for a reason, and all of it was for meeting the people that I needed to meet along the way for my journey, and being the places that I need to be for my journey to make it where I am today. And I was forced to, go through that, and that trauma of having to always adapt and always change, because it's not like it was something you intentionally do, but when you're that young and you go somewhere new, you're a new person. You're not that person that you were there, because you're the new person, you're the new kid, you're the new whatever, so you sort of develop a new thing. You don't bring that baggage of what you had there, all that drama that you had there, because those people aren't there. You have new people here, so you just sort of become this new person every time you go through something new and some sort of change. And that's the beauty of growth, and that's the beauty of taking that fear and channeling it into something good and something great. You never grow, you never blossom, you never become the person you're supposed to be if you keep yourself stuck in a situation that you are miserable, that you are unhappy. That's why I'm trying so hard to move out of Wisconsin, because I know that I don't want to be here. I know that this is not end game for me. I know this is not where I belong. And that's why that is one of my biggest goals of 2021 is to get out of here. And that's why that's my focus. It's I'm hyper focused on, I took this job to make money, to make a lot more money than what I was making, to save up quicker. And so that I could take that step, so I could take that growth. That's going to be scary. I have lived in Wisconsin basically my whole entire life. I was born in Illinois, but we moved to Wisconsin when I was 3 or 4. So I've lived here my whole entire life. I've moved around a lot, a lot of different cities. I haven't stayed in one city my whole life. So that's going to be a crazy thing, to move somewhere completely different. And the places I want to move to, 2 of the states I've never even been to, but I just feel so drawn there. And that's why I'm taking I'm going to take a week or 2, probably 2 weeks in between, save up enough money so I can take 2 weeks in between quitting my job and moving, so I can go explore these places, sign a lease, and then just move, that's what I want to do. And 2 of the places I've never even been to, 2 of my top states that I want to move to, I've never even been to, but I just feel I would love it there. And that's what's super weird about it, is sometimes you just have to trust your intuition and your gut and sort of see where it takes you. And that's kind of what I've been doing. Obviously debating between 3 different places that you want to live is a hard thing. And it's not even just 3 different places. Those are just my top 3. Between now and when when I am able to move, I could find a place that's completely not even on my list and end up living there. That's the beauty of the universe, and letting it, I have just been very broad, and I've just been I want to get out of Wisconsin by this time. and you just let the universe let it do its thing. That's what I did with this job too. I just said, I am miserable. I need a new job that pays me better money so that I can actually save money so I can move. Help me. And the opportunity just came, like it just happened, you know? And that's the thing is like opportunities can come, these chances can come, but it's, are you in that vibration to take that risk, to take that leap of faith, to take that new path that's going to take you somewhere completely different? Or are you going to stay here? Do you want to stay in that vibration, that low, miserable, where every day is just not fulfilling? That you are living your life just day to day, going through the motions, not enjoying life. Because if I've learned anything, is that, you know, having fun, enjoying life is the biggest, most important, like probably one of the most important things. Because I've learned, obviously, like you guys know, like my experience with death and losing people, and I've lost, you know, young people. I've lost people who were very young, who like their lives were you know. And if I've learned anything, is that life is too short to not enjoy it. Life is too short to not be having fun. Life is too short to not, you know, go somewhere because you're exhausted, even though you really want to go, but you're just like, I can't, I'm exhausted, I just can't. It's saying, frick being tired. Forget being exhausted. I want to do this, I'm going to do it. And you know what? I'll rest tomorrow. And that's like what's, you know, obviously sleep is very important and it's good for our health, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was to the point where I was just like, I had no mental capacity to do anything after work. I would just come home on my couch and just sit there and just mindless, like either mindless scrolling, mindless like playing like games. I had no energy or motivation to read, to do my classes that I, you know, these like courses that I like, these like workshops that I find. I had no motivation to do that anymore. I just felt very like stuck almost. And that's when I knew I needed to make something different. I knew I couldn't keep going, like going through the motions, just feeling this way. And that's important, I feel like, when you recognize that and then you know you need to do something about it. And obviously finding a new job is not easy. It's not like job opportunities just like fall to you, you know, but when the timing is right and the vibration is right and it's a match, that's when it'll come. And that's like what, you know, happened to me, because, you know, I was applying mindlessly. I wasn't like truly like investing, you know, I was just like applying, looking for jobs online and just seeing like what sounded good. And, you know, a lot of them though, I was like looking at like out of state, like getting prepared. Like I wasn't like taking seriously of like getting a new job now, because I was like, well, what's the point? Like I'm moving, or I want to move, you know, why get a new job? But like, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, you know? But that's, like I said, you know, all that fear, that anxiety, that's never gonna go away. That's always going to be in the back of your head. Like that's what happened to me. Like I almost talked myself out of a great opportunity because of fear, because of anxiety. I almost was like, no, I'm comfortable here. I'm a lead here. I know what I'm doing here. Why would I want to, you know, take that out? Like why would I do that to myself? That sounds awful. That sounds scary. That sounds terrifying. Like, oh my God, like it's going to be so different. It's going to be so, but I'm grateful that I did it. I am so thankful and so grateful that I did it, because I feel so energetically so much better, and I get home from work and I don't feel like I want to die. I don't feel so like, I haven't left. I mean, like obviously I just started, but like I haven't like, you know, I was like, wasn't leaving crying, mentally, emotionally exhausted. I still had energy to do things after work and still had energy to like take care of myself. Like obviously this week was a little much because I was getting used to a new schedule, you know, And that's another thing, like working at this job is like a little bit more consistent. Like obviously I'm going to be like in a floating position, so I'll be going to different locations all the time, but like time wise is like more consistent. If that makes sense. Like I was working like really weird shifts. Like it's either like I'm going to be starting at 8:30 or 9 or 9:30 like at this one, whereas like some days I could start at 11, or some days I would start at 2, some days would be noon, some days would be 8, some days would be 9, some days would be 10, some days would be 10:30. Like there was no ever consistency. And then with all these like the clinics and the V stuff, it just got too much and got a lot. And like that's the perk of this new job, is I don't have to deal with that. That's completely separate from the pharmacy. Like we have clinics that deal with that, so I'm not dealing with the stress of that whole thing that I was having to deal with at Walgreens. So it's just very nice. And there was like a big, that's why my eyes so itchy. I had like a little like fuzzy in it, and it was pretty big. But yeah, so basically we're 21 minutes in. Basically the premise, the idea, what is behind me ranting about this is that if an opportunity comes to you, talk to yourself about it. Obviously, like not every opportunity that is thrown your way is the right move, is the right thing for you. So that's when you have to go deep inside and really think about things like, is this a good opportunity for me? Is this a good thing for me? Is this the right move that I'm making? And just really sort of and that's like, that could be like a training thing for you, because obviously like not everyone feels super confident in their own intuition, in their own mind. I have learned and gone above and beyond to get to this point where I am super confident in myself, my intuition. And obviously I talked about that 2 episodes ago when I learned the hard way when I didn't trust my intuition. So yeah, I'm very like confident, and I know the right things at the right time, and I know the things to do and what not to do now, because I've learned so much along this way. And I'm still gonna make mistakes. Like that's the thing. That's just the human experience. We are spiritual beings in a human, like living a human experience, so we're gonna make mistakes. We're not perfect. Sometimes like you think you're like feeling something about, like you feel something about something, and it's just like it's not what you think it's gonna be, and then you're like, wait a minute, like am I complete? Like no, that's just like maybe you were meant to choose that, to learn that lesson. It's not necessarily like your intuition is wrong or it sucks. You like spirit, source, angels, whatever, God led you to make that choice to learn what you needed to learn. And then maybe that will make your intuition stronger, or maybe that'll just make you realize that that's maybe, or the lesson that you needed to learn will be taught. That makes sense. I feel like that was kind of really a horrible explanation, but I hope it was better than it sounded when I like was speaking it. Because I just talk, you guys. I usually like talk in my head, like as I'm getting mentally prepared, as I'm doing my makeup, as I'm getting ready, as I'm getting dressed. Like I just talk to the spirit, source, angels, whatever I'm feeling in the moment, God, and I just like ask them to speak through me, and just sort of whatever I believe that I have, whatever I say is what I feel that people need to hear, is what I feel like needs to be out there. And I sort of just like let my angels like speak through me. I just sort of like just kind of go with the flow, and just like whatever is meant for me to say, I'll say. And that's kind of like, it sounds really like weird and crazy, and maybe sounds like you're like, what? That's just no. But I've heard other like other coaches, other people talk about that, how they just sort of like don't even think, they just talk, and they just really truly believe that there's like spiritual, guidance of what they need to bring to their channel. And that's just kind of like, I like heard that for the first time on this other YouTuber's like episode, this video, and I was like, wow, I do the same thing. Like, it's super, super cool. Like when there's like multiple people out there that do that and that feel that energy and that vibration, like while they're presenting what they need to present to their channel, what they need to bring is brought. So yeah, this is just something that I felt like I really needed to talk about and share about, is like my experience with a new job and getting out of my comfort zone, completely out of my comfort zone. Like, you guys don't understand, like this is so out of my comfort zone for me. I'm very much out of my comfort zone, and it's crazy and it's awesome and it's scary and it's exciting at the same time. Like, I just feel really excited, and it's just getting me really excited for new opportunities to get out of my comfort zone. It's getting me really excited for, in a couple months when I'm getting ready to move out of the state, like, and then obviously I'm gonna be starting another new job, and then like it's just getting me excited to keep growing and keep doing these things, and just feeling these feelings of excitement and growth. And it's awesome. It's scary, but it's awesome. And that's the whole point, is just sort of, you gotta push that fear, you gotta push those doubts, you gotta push those limiting beliefs, you gotta push that anxiety away, and just focus on you, do the things that you need to do, feel the feelings you need to feel, and then tell those feelings to frick off. Tell those feelings that they're not valid anymore, and you do not claim those feelings anymore. You claim like growth, you claim positivity, you claim opportunities. Like, you don't want to be stuck in that same vibration of negativity, of like being miserable. How is that fun? Like, it's not, and it's not. And that's why it's like, when you get an opportunity that presents itself to change you, to uproot you, to bring you to that, you're at a vibration, and now you're going to be like matching that. Like, your outside circumstances are going to be matching that vibration that you've been at, that you've been setting, that you've been wanting to be at, and I just feel like it's really awesome to like tell that fear to shove it, and just do something for you, do something for growth. And I feel very preachy in this episode, and I don't really know how I feel about it, but I just let's see where we're at. I just feel like, take that time for yourself, really reflect. Am I happy? Do I like what I'm doing? Am I happy in this relationship? You guys, our relationships, our friendships, those people that we surround ourselves are the most important people. We as humans thrive from other human beings. We do. And there are people out there that are like, I'm a loner, I don't hang out with people, blah, blah. Okay, fine. Maybe you don't thrive around other people, but majority, I would say most people, thrive around other people. You are the person, you are the people, like the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you hang out with bad people, I'm not saying you're a bad person, but you have the personality traits of those bad people. Like, your personality traits sort of make up all the people that you hang around. And that's why it's super important to surround yourself with like high vibrational people, or people that lift you up, which kind of go hand in hand. But like, it's why it's important to keep your inner circle so tight and so filled with love and good vibrations and no negativity, because that's going to be your circumstances, So that's why it's like, it's important to feel happy at your job. It's important to feel happy in your relationship. It's important to feel happy in your friendships. And if you don't, then you need to change something. And instead of, there were plenty of times that I stayed hanging around people that I shouldn't have been, because I didn't feel comfortable like meeting new people. And I feel like me moving around a lot when I was younger was sort of that, like, I didn't realize it until I was older, but I feel like me moving around a lot when I was younger was sort of like setting up into me, like when I was older, to just be okay leaving friend groups because I didn't feel what I needed to feel anymore. Even if it did take me a while to realize that, I feel like all those like that, you know, leading up to that moment as into being an adult, having to readapt to a whole new friend group, to, you know, new people, adapting to new best friends, close friends, was, you know, all from my childhood and moving around a lot and moving to new schools. I feel like that brought me that courage as an adult to be able to, you know, when I got to that place, realizing things about people, to do that step, to take away from those friendships, from those people, the friend groups, you know. So it's important to really look at all the situations in your life and circumstances in your life and make sure that everything that you are doing and everything that you are feeling is bringing you high vibrations, bringing you good vibrations, bringing you happiness. Because if there is something in your life that isn't, don't be afraid to change it. Don't be afraid to take that next step in your career. Don't be afraid to tell those people, you know, you don't even have to be like, I don't want to be your friend anymore. Just like, move on, just go make new friends. Like, I know that doesn't, like, that sounds so, I feel like that sounds harsh, and I didn't mean that to sound harsh. Obviously it's not easy all the time to make new friends, you know, and that's why I made the decision to not move in 2020 to a new state, because I knew with this pandemic that it would be really hard to meet people, that it would be extremely hard to move to a new state where I didn't know people and try to meet people in the middle of a pandemic, because obviously, you know, it's impossible right now, but all the states that I want to move to are like opening up. So like it will be good in a few months. But like, that's why like I made that decision, even though I wanted to really bad. I made that decision to, you know, stay here. And I'm glad I did, because I learned a lot about myself in these past couple months, and I've learned a lot about life, I feel like, in the past couple months, even without having to uproot myself and my, you know, I've learned a lot about my friends. I've learned a lot about, you know, I've changed in the past like 6 months, and I've, you know, than most people change in like years. So, and I feel like it's really great, because I feel like people who are super close to me and people who aren't super close to me have noticed, and it's all just like shifting that perspective of, you know, okay, it's not the right time yet. It'll be the right time when it's the right time with certain things. But like moving, that's like kind of like my example. Like, but yeah, it's just really important to take that fear that you feel of change, that you fear of growth. Because I mean, like, you may not think you fear growth, but if you're afraid of change, if you're afraid of being uncomfortable, get comfortable being uncomfortable. That is, I want you to embody that. I want you to take that. Say, I am comfortable in uncomfortable situations. I enjoy doing things out of my comfort zone. Like, that's like an affirmation that you can like use for yourself. Like, I enjoy doing things out of my comfort zone. It's like, I grow when I feel uncomfortable. Like, growth is good. Being uncomfortable is okay. Like, being out of my comfort zone is okay. Like, just affirm that to yourself, you know, say that, you know, those affirmations, and really just sort of take that in and embody that person that isn't afraid of change, that isn't afraid. And then eventually, like, you're still gonna feel it, but you're gonna be able to say, like, forget you, fear, I don't care, I'm gonna do it anyway. So yeah, feel the fear and do it anyway. Please read that book. It is amazing. It is so life-changing, and I'm only halfway through. Like I said, I'll link it in the description. Get comfortable being uncomfortable, because it's really gonna change your life. Honestly, it really will. It's crazy the amount of how much it'll change in like a small amount of time. Like, I guarantee you. And, you know, just really have fun. If you're not having fun, like, you're not living. That's honestly how I feel. If you're not enjoying life, if you're not having fun, if you're not taking in every moment for what it is, and, you know, not taking anything for granted, and really being grateful for everything that you have, and really being grateful for everything that you're surrounding with, and being grateful for another day. I spent so many years being so ungrateful to be here, like praying every night before I go to bed and waking up every day, like praying that something would happen to me because I didn't want to be here anymore, and just not being grateful and not taking life to its full advantage. And I lived in that dark, dark bubble for so long that to get to that point where you don't feel that way anymore is truly, it's like life-changing. It's truly incredible. It's really something. It's really something. And that's all because I did things, I made moves, I took risks, I took chances, I put myself first, I did things I was uncomfortable doing. Like Courtney 7 months ago was not comfortable doing this, and here I am, like on episode 14, 15, I don't even know because I've just been so like out of the loop on this. But I mean, yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like, just take that risk. You know, you want to do something, like, don't be afraid. You can do it. You can do anything that you want to do. Don't let society, don't let other people, don't let standards, don't let your own fear, your own anxiety, other people, don't let other people, you know how many people told me I was, you know, how stupid it was that I wanted to start a YouTube channel? You know how many people told me how dumb it was that I wanted to do a podcast and that it wouldn't do, like, that's something, they're like, that's what you want to do? You know how, like, hesitant I am to tell people, like, oh, what do you do for fun? Like, what are your hobbies? It's like, oh, yeah, I have a podcast, or yeah, I make videos on YouTube. Like, you know how hesitant, because people are so judgy, because people, you know, and you don't even want to let that into that space. You don't even want that. I'm to that point where I don't even want that negativity that in my space, because I let it hold me back for so long, and I just don't even care anymore. Like, I was just like, yeah, I do YouTube. Like, yeah, I make a podcast. Yeah, I do this, I do that. I'm aspiring life coach, you know? Because that's what I feel like I'm meant to do. I feel like that is my calling. I feel like this is what I'm here for. I feel like I had to go through all the things I had to go through to grow, to, you know, I had to live in that bubble, that darkness for so long to get to the light, so that I can be that person to help other people go from that darkness to the light. And I feel like that is something that I had a major realization about, because like I've always, you know, I went to school for psychology, and like the goal was to be a therapist. And I feel like a life coach is like a therapist, but in a really different way. Like, it's not only just like, here's some pills, or let me, you know, diagnose you with all these labels. Like, no, let's forget the labels, forget this, forget the pills. Like, let's focus on your inner being. Let's focus on your spiritual self. How's your health, your mind, your body? All of it is connected. Like, we are all just, everything is here and everything is connected. Our chakras, like, you know, take the time to learn about your different chakras, because it's, if anything is off balance, it's something that's like deep within, you know? And it's crazy, because I was watching this one YouTuber talk about how she used to have like really bad hip problems, and she went to like, and she did Reiki, which is like energy healing. If you've never heard about it, it's really cool. I've never done it, but I would love to like get it done to me. But it's like energy healing, and she ended up realizing that she had so much trauma like from her life, and it was all stored in one part of her body. So when she was doing the Reiki, when she was doing the energy healing, when she was healing herself and her own trauma, she doesn't have any problems with her hips anymore. Her one like side of her hips, like, she felt nothing. Like, isn't that crazy? I feel like that story is really wild. Her name's Ella Ringrose. If you want to look her up on YouTube, she kind of talks about it in a lot of her videos. But I found that so interesting when I was listening to her talk about that, and it's crazy. Our mind and body and our spirit are all connected, so so interconnectedly. I just feel like it's really, truly incredible, like our experience that we have as humans, and it's our job to make it the best that we can. So if you're not having fun, reevaluate in your life what isn't allowing you to have fun, and energetically mentally, physically, all of it, cut it out and find something that will make you, cut that out and bring something into your life that will make your life better. Enjoy life for what it is. Enjoy every moment for what it is. Be grateful for every moment. Be grateful for every day, because you never know. You never know. That's the sad reality of this life that we live, is you don't know. And so if you're not enjoying life, you better start, because you don't know when your last day could be. And obviously, like, what, depending on what you believe in and like the afterlife and stuff, everyone says it's so much better on the other side, but there's still life to be lived here too. And we still want to enjoy our experience here. We wouldn't be here if there wasn't something to experience, like we would have just gone, had the spiritual realm if that's what it was supposed to be. But we were meant to be here. We were meant to have the human experience, the connections, the people, the opportunities, the growth, the life, the live, the jobs, like everything is all meant to be the way it's supposed to be. And we got to enjoy it. We got to take every moment for what it is and just really live your life, and just never be afraid to do the things that you want to do. Take that step, take that leap, do what you need to do. Get uncomfortable. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. That concludes the episode for today. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your week, and I love you all so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you really like this, please give a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. If you're on Apple Podcasts, please give me a rating. We'll appreciate that so much. And DM me if you're interested in some one-on-one coaching, because your girl is in the process of getting certified. If you feel more comfortable when I'm done being certified, I can let you know. But I'm doing like NLP training, which is like neurological linguistic training. It's like a program. So when I finish that, I can let you guys know if you feel more comfortable after I'm certified, or if you're interested in one-on-one coaching now while I'm in training. Obviously I give you I'm not my rates aren't set, so I'll do a discounted price until I get certified, so get in on that. But yeah, I hope you guys have a beautiful week. I love you all so much. I will see you next week.